Hello everybody, and welcome back to Project Cars 2. Today we're going to be racing a couple friends, a couple viewers, a couple acquaintances around two tracks, Laguna Seca and Road America. Starting off with everybody in the AMGs at Laguna Seca. Without further ado, here we go. Now, I filmed my first time going around Laguna Seca not too long ago. I think it was back around January and maybe February. But we've come a long way. Starting off in third position. Third place, I guess. Qualified third is what I'm trying to say. And just holding it together around turn 1/2, I guess, if you want to break it up. But feels like one big turn to me. Not colliding into the guy beside me until he comes across in the braking zone. Maybe a misjudgment by an inch. It's just unfortunate that it sent me off into the abyss. I'm going to try and rejoin in ninth place. Looks like we might actually go down to 10th here. But not without a fight. We're going to get a good run and really try to get past him here. I have to be pretty assertive, touching the dirt on the inside, but definitely holding my line here. The gray AMG just trying to bully his way up the inside, doesn't pan out for him, ends up spinning off. The two blue ones, turquoise and dark, managed to squeeze by just fine. Coming over the crest here, we're going to try and catch up to our friend, Captain Slow, James May himself. He confirmed it on the internet, so it must be true. Into the corkscrew. He's kind of being held up by 7th place here a little bit. And he's got the patience of a saint right now because he knows he has a drive-through penalty to serve, it appears. I guess he jumped the start. Whether it was intentional or not is yet to be determined. But he has to deal with it either way. Coming around the second last corner here, he is going to break off to the pits. It's going to be me and our friend in 7th place here. We'll call him Phil. But coming around turn, I guess the final turn here, he is just going to dip 2 wheels off. Yeah, he almost sent that guy into the pits. That's a real fear, though. He just tipped 2 wheels off, and he's still committed to gassing out of the corner, throttling out of the corner. And, yeah, spun across the track, which is just a real danger. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's driving me crazy. So, anyway, skipping ahead to the corkscrew here, I see a back marker off on the mini-map, so I knew not to go full send around that corner all the way out to the curb. And it paid off big time because that was a near 90 rejoin onto the racing line. But I kind of allowed plenty of space for it. We've caught up to our friend Gian Barra. I forget their name exactly, but we've caught up. And we can see there's a big crowd up ahead thanks to back markers. And here on the next lap, coming around turn 2, we have caught up to the back markers. Most of the people in front of us have gotten past, and we can see why. These guys are just going to pull over. First one, no problem. Second one, breaking on the straightaway around the corner. I mean, that's how. Take note, back markers. Take note. That's how it's done. And now they can have their race for 10th place, the top 10. That's a considerably nice position, and we can continue ours for top 5. That would be nice for us, I think, at this point. Falling all the way back to 10th place. I'd like to see myself in the top 5. Still a few laps to go. Coming up to the corkscrew here, these guys are going to go in side by side, so I should catch up. And here it is. I do gain a bunch of ground coming into the braking point. Let's see if I can come even closer on the way out. I can't. But the blue AMG, with the confidence of, like, with the certainty and the confidence of just, like, the most professional, seasoned racing driver, he yeets himself over to the right as if he knows where the racing line is and just goes off onto the dirt. Sails away, so an easy position from him. That's unfortunate, but it was pretty funny to watch, the confidence in that move. Just drift wide. Brutal stuff. So we're in the top 5. Now we're going to be eyeballing 4th place. It's doable, I think. And we can see 4th has caught up to 3rd, and 2nd is actually just going through the corkscrew now. 3rd place is going to go wide and come back for a rejoin. We're going to give him space, and he does a nice, tidy job. So we're going to have a compromise line around this next corner here. He is collected and going to immediately start applying pressure. But that's okay, because we're just going to hold it down. It's no big deal. He's actually the guy who bumped me off accidentally on turn 2, lap 1. So we're going to go full defensive here. He reads it right away, and you can see that's good. It was clearly an accident. We're doing fine. We're getting along just fine right now. Around turn 1, we're going to have a bit of a drag race across the finish line and up the hill towards turn 1, the actual turn 1. That was the last turn. Coming by 1st place, who's in the pits. I'm not sure what that's about. Damage is on. Maybe he had a bit of an incident. A back marker, almost losing control around turn 1. We managed to collect it, luckily, so did the guy behind me, so he doesn't gain on me. He actually falls back a little bit. I think we scared him. Just a mad flex with my ability to not bin it. Anyway, not lose control. We get the notification that you never want to see, which is you have basically forgotten to read the rules before you joined the server, and you have to pit. You forgot. So we're going to pit at the very end here. It finally makes sense how we managed to catch up to first. I can see first right now. First isn't going to pit, but surprisingly second place is, and so is fourth. So that's kind of shocking. We get a nice entry in the pits. Our friend Scout's going a little deep, and we just managed to catch our pit crew right at the entry. That's super convenient. Minimal repairs. We're going to be out of here right away. This car insists on starting in 5th gear for some reason. We're going to try and get going. Just manage. We actually we undercut speed in the pits somehow, and look at this. We're going to undercut our friend Portfolio. I forget his name. I didn't read it fast enough there, but the fellow who bumped me off at the beginning. We're gonna get a run on him and actually come out in 2nd place. So the person who went on without pitting, he actually got disqualified for not pitting. The person who we saw pitting before, when we were all racing, he's now the leader. And actually Poor quits. I'm not sure what happened there. I think he was leaving the pits and he sped. Like he deactivated his limiter a second too early. Got a penalty and just instantly rage quit. So into 2nd place from the pits. How did that happen? Down to 10th at one point. 4th fastest time. Shouldn't have been in the top 3, but we made it happen. That was a wild race. So back and forth. Didn't see that coming. So we're going to try a new car. We switched lobbies. Same people. New lobby. Now we're going to be trying the Vantage. I haven't driven it very much. So we're going to give it a shot around Road America, sorry. Total noob. Slipping an oven there. But we have gone up in skill. We're up to D1571 now. So that was a considerable jump in points there. And unfortunately, we didn't do so hot qualifying this time. 13th, toward the back of the pack. However, that just means it's going to be easier to get some skill points here. If we can just gain a couple positions, maybe end up in the top 10, then it's going to bode well for us. We're going to gain some skill. Captain Slow going very slow up the inside. We're going to take advantage of it. If he wants to let us pass, that's just fine. I think he wants to start at the back. But 3 abreast there for a second. That was tight stuff. Coming around turn 1, a few people drifting wide, but only on their own accord. So good, tidy stuff so far. Up into 9th place, already happy. I spoke too soon. The McLaren with a big hit. I think he felt bad for it. He slowed down right away. But it's going to compromise 2 people's lines around there. Maybe destroy 1. He's still off in the sand. Up into 6th place, though. What a great start. So I'm looking forward to where this is going to go. We've got a massive run on the BMW. I know my braking point down this hill. Pretty bang on. We're going to brake a little early just to compensate for being on the inside. Drift back to the racing line. Come around the corner. And he's lost it. He's gone wide, but he gets on the throttle and he just becomes a passenger. I drift into the track, nearly avoiding causing any major accidents. Luckily, everybody gets by. And yes, I mean literally everybody as we drift down into 17th place. The BMW causing another accident. 1 turn later and quitting. Just not your race, but I've been there, especially in a set of course competition lately. I just can't get a good race in that. I've been trying for you guys. I know a lot of people like that content, but it's hard. It's not easy to have a good, exciting race in that game without just, either blowing it or it's boring. You're out in front. We'll work something out. Anyway, recovering up into 12th place, and we have some more traffic up ahead, so we're going to try and make the most of it. Bit of an incident back there where the person was up in the air, considered going underneath him, but then we remember this thing called the brakes, and we applied those instead. Worked out really well. I'm going to have to remember that trick for the future. And we're going to catch up with a group here. Now we've got our good friend Captain Slow in front of us, which isn't good because he let everybody go. So the fact that he's in front of us, it doesn't bode well. He's being very cautious around the traffic, taking a defensive line around this corner. We're going to have a bit of a run up the hill. But he's going to pit. He's going to pull over a pit against the slowest McLaren in the world. He's going to try and pit behind him. I think he actually cuts onto the grass to go around. He's like, why are you going so slow? This is a race. So skipping ahead, we're in 8th place now. We're just going to go pit. We caught up to 7th. Doesn't really count for anything, honestly. This race is kind of going downhill pretty quick. Although we started in 13th. We are moving up. It's just such a promising start. It's unfortunate. What I say about the people spinning out, it's a real risk when the second they lose it, they're just along for the ride. They can't do anything. They're spinning out across the track, and it's up to you, and whether or not you might not even have the opportunity to avoid it. You might not have the time to stop. You might not have the space to turn around. So it just happens. We're going to get a move around this McLaren here, but you can kind of see why once we get in front. He's got some serious front end damage there. So that it kind of explains why he's not going too quick. Captain Slow is going to take the opportunity to go around, I think. And Captain Slow chased me for quite a while here. We're going to have a bit of traffic here. Managed to avoid him. Safety ratings thanking me for that one. That's what it's all about. That's why we're here. Trying to get up in the world. Trying to get away from all the madness. And it's little things like that that bode well with the safety rating gods. And allow you to get away from the maniacs. Going to get a nice little battle with the AMG here. And we really get to see what the advantage is of the Vantage. Oh, guys, no, keep watching. It gets better, I promise. But this straight line speed is just savage. Look at it go. So we get way out in front. He brakes super early. I know my braking point. I nail it. Very cautious even. And we just hold a nice tidy line around this corner. He's not gonna work his way past, not this time. So we're gonna keep 7th place for now. Coming around this very tricky corner. I'm not sure how it happens. He looks like he's through. Then he gets a little out of shape, dips a wheel on the grass, and just it's gone. Like I said, once you spin in this game, there's no recovering. It's actually got quite a good realistic feel until you push the limit like 105%. 104, it feels real. You're sliding, you can control it. 105, and it's like you're on the moon, and friction's not a thing anymore, and you just sail away. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and just have a great day.